the next official Zenith of Power has just been announced by the developers of Rise of Kingdoms. And this latest Zenith of Power is looking pretty good in terms of stats. You can see here on the screen, we have a troop attack percentage of 16%. So one interesting thing about this, guys, is I have noticed, okay, with all of these all-troop types of Zenith of Powers that they have been releasing into the game, I have realized they have never done an all-troop health Zenith skin as of right now. So they like to switch between the attack and then the defense. So this is, of course, going to be the second attack skin. The trend that I have noticed, guys, is the original all-troop Zenith skin that we ever had was 8%, okay? Then we saw 12%. That was an increase by 4%. And now we are seeing another 4% increase again. But it is, however, going back to the attack-related stat here. So potentially, there might be a 16% all-troop defense skin as well that we might see released next year, judging by just how that they have been releasing these skins, considering that we only just started getting the 20% stats in the single unit type for Zenith skins. So I think it's going to be a little while before we see that for the all troop, but for now 16% is still extremely powerful, guys. So if you don't already have one of the already existing all troop Zenith skins in the game, then this could be a great opportunity for you to go ahead and push for this extremely powerful Zenith of Power skin. One other thing as well, with the latest crystal technology changes that we have seen implemented into Heroic Anthem, and now they are slowly introducing that same crystal technology that was in the Pioneer mode, and now we are seeing that implemented into other KVK formats as well. So as that KVK technology starts to become the main technology that everyone is using in that KVK, so if you haven't already used that technology, guys, I'm going to mention here that it basically means that if you have attack stats elsewhere outside of the crystal technology, all of a sudden that extra attack has actually become a lot more beneficial than it used to be, because we know that with the previous technology in the game, okay, basically there was just so much attack available in the crystal technology, but nowadays the crystal technology is a lot more balanced. And we also have realized one really crucial thing about the crystal technology now is the damage is reduced by quite a bit, and then the thing that is going to increase your damage besides just actual extra damage is of course going to be attack. So if you can get this Zenith skin here, extra 16% attack is going to make your marchers do more damage, and I think that that is a really good thing, especially with the changes that we have seen in this new crystal technology. So with that in mind, you know, I would not be surprised if this skin in particular is quite competitive in terms of how much power you might have to push. This obviously will depend on which region that you belong or which kingdom that you guys are in. So obviously some of the Imperial kingdoms out there are going to be very competitive, and even some of the other AC kingdoms as well. So guys, while we are discussing how much power is required to push a Zenith of Power event, I want to go ahead and just show you guys, or we're going to have a quick recap of the latest face-to-face with the developers, because they have mentioned something quite interesting here in regards to the Zenith of Power event. So we're just going to go ahead and go over some of the details here. So what was brought up in the latest face-to-face with the developers, people were mentioning to the developers, please modify the Zenith of Power event. Granting city themes based on rankings motivates everyone to raise their power by hoarding resources instead of fighting. What's more, those who don't rank in the top 10 don't earn a city theme and get made fun of. So the answer from the developers here is, we are planning on adding a new exchange currency to ensure that all governors have a chance of earning the event city theme. Here's how it works. Okay, so number one, during the Zenith of Power, you will be able to earn the new currency by increasing your power. And number two, once the rankings are finalized, you will be able to use this currency to redeem the current Zenith of Power city theme and the theme effect and other items in the event shop. Number three, governors in the top 10 will still receive the event city theme, but the top 3 will no longer receive the event city theme. Instead, the theme effect will be available in the event shop. And number 4, there will be a limit on how much of this currency you can earn per event. Any unused currency will be lost at the end of the event. Okay, guys, so based off of this message here from the developers, this obviously in theory does sound like quite a good update, because we know that, as mentioned here, okay, it is extremely exclusive in terms of only the top 10 governors are permitted to receive that award for the Zenith of Power. And a lot of players are put off by pushing for the Zenith of Power because obviously being in the top 10, depending on what kingdom you guys are in as well and the region that you are part of, can be extremely difficult. However, I wanted to go ahead and clarify some of the details here because there are a few of the details that are a little bit unclear based off of this message here. Now, in theory, it sounds like a great update for players, potentially allowing more governors outside of that top 10 to receive that Zenith of Power award. So what I did is I went ahead and I actually messaged the developers myself directly. How this event is actually going to work in terms of how much power that you might need to push in order to get enough of the currency here that is mentioned to get this Zenith of Power award. So let's go ahead and take a look here. Okay, so this is the response that I got from the developers directly. So they said, "Hi, Governor. We are glad to hear from you. The current tentative plan is that increasing 5 million power will grant you 1 Zenith currency, though the final rules are subject to change upon the event's official launch. It is estimated that a total power increase of up to 60 million will be required to exchange for 1 city skin, equivalent to approximately 12 currencies. Please note that these values are preliminary and may be adjusted based on the final in-game implementation. Additionally, the 60 million power threshold refers to the guaranteed amount for unlocking a universal all-troop city skin. The requirement for a single troop type city skin may differ, and the exact values will be specified in the event details upon release." So guys, based off of this response here from the developers, this is when I reached out directly to the VIP support. And this is what they basically came up with here. Essentially, how it's going to work is you are going to get one of these Zenith of Power currencies for every 5 million power that you increase here. And what they have said that is in order to guarantee that permanent city skin that you can unlock with your account, you will need to push up to 60 million power. Now that actually sounds like an extraordinarily high amount of power, guys. I am not gonna lie. And to be honest, I don't think that any kingdom out there, maybe there's like 1 or 2 kingdoms that might be affected by this 60 million power guarantee system. But really, apart from that, I think you guys will all agree with me that is way too much power for anyone to really bother pushing just to get a guaranteed Zenith of Power skin here. And by the way, this is going to be in the next Zenith of Power, so that is 100% official. It will be part of this upcoming Zenith of Power event. But I just don't think that this update is quite where it needs to be. I think that they have the right idea in order to allow some of those extra players outside of the top 10 to get it. But with the 60 million guarantee system, really there's only going to be 1 or 2 kingdoms out there that actually benefit from this update. So I actually went ahead and I responded to Lilith, okay? And this is my response to Lilith here based off of the message that they sent me. So I said, "I would like to say though that 60 million power is incredibly high for a guaranteed Zenith skin, and most top 10 placements will not even reach the 60 million power anyway. I think a lot of players will be disappointed by this. I would suggest reducing the guaranteed number to around 40 million for an all-troop city skin and around 30 million for a single unit city skin. That still requires a significant investment for participating players, but also gives people a chance. 60 million is unachievable." So Lilith said, "As we are being committed to improve the game, we have noted your feedback and sent it to our team. They will have an evaluation according not only to the feasibility, but also player demand and feedback." So there you have it, guys. That is basically my feedback to Lilith. I do think that the 60 million is just way too high for anyone to really benefit there. So I have basically suggested to Lilith to potentially reduce that number to 40 million there. Whether or not they actually decide to go ahead with that, that's up to them. I would highly recommend that you guys also share your feedback with the developers as well. Let them know that you think that that number is a little bit too high and not really achievable for most of the players out there. So like I said, I have recommended 40 million power to be the guarantee system for the all troop Zenith skin. That is, I know that a lot of players are still going to say that's very, very high, but the thing is, like, obviously the developers, they still want players to push power or train power during the event, and I can kind of see like both sides where they're coming from, but I think that the developers need to reduce that number a little bit just to make it more available for a higher number of players in the community. I think if you somehow get 40 million power, right, and you still can't get in the top 10 for that event, then you should definitely be given the permanent skin as part of this new currency system that they are implementing. I just think that that's only fair to the players. For someone who is going to push that much power, guys, that is a lot of speed ups that is required to even get to 40 million power. That is a lot of speed ups that is going to be used on the account. So it's only fair if a player that pushes that much should be given some kind of currency that they can put towards getting the permanent skin. So anyway, guys, that's just my thoughts on this update that is being implemented into this latest Zenith of Power event. And I just wanted to share those thoughts with you as well. And I wanted to share the feedback that I also provided to Lilith. And I hope that you guys will also consider to do the same. Also, if you have any other thoughts about this update, let me know in the comments, or you can also provide them directly to Lilith yourself. So for me personally, I won't be going for this Zenith of Power event simply because I do already have that 12% all troop defense. And the fact that I am in Kingdom 2359, I do believe that the Zenith of Power is going to be extremely high, especially with all the new migrants that we just got in Kingdom 2359. It's going to be super high to get that top 10 level. And obviously no one is going to want to train 60 million power until the developers are willing to reduce that guarantee system. I don't think that that's going to affect anyone at this time. So anyway, guys, if you do want to push for this Zenith of Power event, now is the time to activate your training expansions. Get them cooking right now, guys, because the 7th anniversary for Rise of Kingdoms is just around the corner. We will be celebrating the 7 years of Rock in September, guys. And one of the first things that we are going to be kicking off with that celebration is this Zenith of Power event. Anyway, guys, I hope that you enjoyed today's video and you have a great weekend ahead. Please consider to like and subscribe if you haven't already. And guys, I will see you in the next video.